152.
Woo!
Episode 152.
We're here in the stew. We're wootin'.
Do you guys want to know the angel number meaning of 152?
Well, what is it?
The angel number 152 is a message that the changes you are facing are necessary for your growth and spiritual alignment. It is a reminder that you should have faith in your abilities, trust in the journey, and maintain a positive attitude to attract positivity and abundance.
Okay.
So I think that means that we need more followers and more patrons.
How do you even come to that conclusion just by looking at the number 152?
Back in the day, these types of people, they put in the work. They would have a little cart that they would sit inside and do research that went by a horse, and that's what they lived in as well. And they had a crystal ball, and you could go see them. These days, they just go online and go to websites that look like they're made in 1999. That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I'm on the gematria calculator.
Uh-huh.
It's like the, what's the esoteric Jewish thing? Kabbalah. It's like that kind of stuff. And I guess 152, it can mean alcohol. It can mean chaos. Ganesha.
Oh, that makes sense. Bacardi 152.
That's right.
Oh, shit. I forgot to say that last episode.
Is that a gematria alcohol brand?
A Bacardi joke? This
means
episode's
bot.
sponsored.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
It means bot. I don't know if that's like robot or that's, that might be a Hebrew number or something. It can mean Malta.
Oh, Malta.
Can mean Reebok.
Yeah, I want to go on record and say that I think that all the people who are into that shit are very smart.
It means black girl. This doesn't seem like it means anything.
The president of Malta is a cool guy. His name's George Vella, and he's really old. Another world leader that looks like a munchkin, basically. And they have little steps that they put for him to like step up onto stuff. And he looks so little next to everybody, even though Maltese men are already short.
I would love to get that.
Mr. George Vella, yeah, have little velvet upholstered stoops for you to step on everywhere you go to get up on
That's
stuff.
a very steep place, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to get up the sides. That's why it was so hard to siege.
Yeah, he's probably never even been to Popeye Village because it gets too steep sometimes. I like how they left it there, the way it is.
Those places are kind of scary. The really mountainous places in Europe where they have like... Have you ever seen that picture of the hotel where it's got the road right on top of the hotel?
Mm-hmm.
I forget where that is. Maybe somewhere in Spain?
Yeah, Spain would probably make more sense.
It's weird because so much of Europe is scarcely populated, but then they also have the super density compared to us.
It's so much like, it's very alike to here when you go to somewhere that's like kind of remote with these beautiful houses, and anybody that's like from that country in chat will be like, nobody lives in these like 90% of the year. I'm like, that's awesome. Glad they're fucking taking space up. Lake Como's like that.
Lake Como?
That's
Yep.
Switzerland?
It's Italy. It might be Switzerland border too, actually. That's all Italy.
Yeah, it's Piedmont.
That's where George Clooney lived for a long time. He might still live there, actually. Lake Como.
That's a cool place. That's a very high culture place. That's where the fashion is, where the cool cars are.
That's where Kanye just had his freaking ass out on the boat.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you go to be a fashion guy. You got to get your XP in Italy.
That is somewhere where I would have to only drive through. I couldn't even stop there to buy a fucking sparkling water. Too rich for my blood. Some cool places there, though. Lovely. Lovely places.
Yeah, I would love to go to Italy. It just seems so anxiety-inducing, I guess. Anytime you see those tourist places, it would have to be a place out of the way.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Nantes. I have ancestors from Nantes.
You know who lives in one of the prettiest areas of Europe? Well, she did, was Tina Turner.
Oh yeah, wasn't she married to like a Swiss billionaire or something?
Yeah, she denounced her American citizenship and became a Swiss citizen. Her house was really fucking sick.
Yeah, that was the move in the 20th century. That's what James Baldwin did. You go over to Europe.
Oh, really?
They're still racist, but in a different way, and they'll kind of leave you alone if you're black and rich.
Switzerland's a little more like a Texas. Like a lot of people go there for like tax purposes or whatever, right? And then
and they mandate gun use, don't they?
Yeah, they have the highest gun violence in Europe, I think, because
or gun
they have all guns.
Gun ownership.
Yeah, don't they give everyone? Isn't there like mandatory like fucking service, and then you keep your gun after?
Something like that. They have
gun violence has to be higher in like Bulgaria.
I mean, I don't know. Just maybe by the sheer volume of guns that are in Switzerland.
They're always doing mechanical stuff. Same thing with clocks.
Hey, by the way, the Balkans are fucking heating up right now. The U.S. had to tell Serbia today to move their fucking guys away from the border of Kosovo again. Here we do again. Now Owen Wilson's gonna have to be in a fucking another movie about that conflict.
I haven't determined my opinion on the Kosovo question yet. I do want to agree with Dua Lipa on it because I like her music, but also it's too small of a country.
No, you can't say that because they could be the newest member of my game, No Allies. Who wins?
Oh yeah, that's right. They've got that gold mine or silver or something.
They got a freaking gold mine wherever Dua Lipa came from, if you ask me. I love her though, and whatever she says is right. She should be the prez.
I would love to produce her next album.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
If Nate could call in a favor to Jeff Bhaskar.
She'd be really pissed at me if I did
it. Doing it in Audacity.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, you record from your end and send me the MP3. What?
Doing it with AI.
Oh, God. Anyway, if any Serbians are listening, any military, I mean, at the border, back your shit up a little bit.
Get ready.
Get ready. Hey,
all the Serbian boy bands are enlisting.
I heard there's oil in southern Serbia, guys.
Speaking of oil, I have a Dear Prudence that I wanted to read. It's sort of in our
let's
house.
do it.
Dear Prudence, I and my boyfriend of 3 years are both in our late 30s. I truly adore this man, but of course, no relationship or person is perfect, and I wouldn't be writing unless there was a problem to address. My handsome, thoughtful, intelligent boyfriend doesn't wash his hair. He is clean and smells nice, but he only rinses his hair in the shower and doesn't often touch it with shampoo. The rest of him gets a once-over with an 18-in-1 wash. This leaves his hair sometimes looking slick and heavy as though it's still wet. We are both white, and his hair is fine and silky and seems to need more periodic washing it isn't getting. I know he doesn't wash his hair because he mentioned once that he thinks it's detrimental. This was early in our relationship, and I didn't see the need to comment when he didn't look dirty. When he gets his hair cut, the stylist washes it thoroughly, and when he comes home, he looks so incredibly good with his hair fluffy and shiny. I find myself really looking forward to his haircuts. How can I speak to him about maybe washing his hair a bit more? Also, why are men like this? He is not the first man I have dated who thought that soap on the skin or hair was going to damage it and noped out of regular scrub downs in favor of water.
Oh, it's such a Reddit post. Oh, he just noped
so nasty.
He noped right out of washing his balls. He thought it was going to scuff them. Dude,
is 18-in-1 soap a real thing, or is that
I think it's like a Reddit exaggeration.
That's a bit, yeah.
I guess there's like the Dr. Bronner says 18-in-1. I doubt that's what it is. I think that's just
I think they just
probably became like a meme.
People that use Dr. Bronner's call it Dr. Bronner's, let's face it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, beyond 3, what would they be?
No,
you've got the hair, you've got the skin.
It's definitely like a tongue-in-cheek exaggeration.
Yeah.
Because then I don't even care about it. I'm not like I'm offended, but the fucking... And why are men like this at the end is like, okay.
Because you let them get away with it. That's why they're like this.
I've certainly seen women with greasy, crunchy, dried out, nasty hair.
Oh yeah, they stream on Kick. They play Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Oh, God.
This e-girl I'm stalking of 3 years are both in our late 30s. I truly adore this woman, but her hair is so crunchy that it breaks apart like hay.
Oh man, do you want to get into the subreddit where that crazy guy thinks that he's just commenting directly on Melanie?
Eddie?
Oh yeah, Eddie boy, that's turning into more and more of a chaotic place over there.
That is
because
spooky.
You've got 19 hours ago, it's Eddie boy saying Melanie Mac got a beautiful body for being 36 years old. She looks amazing, and it's a fake picture that some other guy made. But he thinks that she posted it. It's like a deep fake with her in a bikini, and it's clearly not her.
Yeah, she wishes.
It's like a very cut woman with abs and shit.
She fucking wishes.
Well, like, there's a couple. There's that pervy avocado guy.
That's the guy who's
like super horny for.
Yeah, that's the guy who did the sexy Photoshop.
And every time he posts, Eddie thinks he's talking directly to her.
I'm sorry.
So when she posts like...
If there was some girl like that online that I was obsessed with, the last thing I'd be doing is being like, look how much hotter I made you. Look.
They don't like that?
I know he just like kind of doesn't like her. He's coming at it from like an incel side. Like, oh, you're such a good Christian, huh? You little slutty Christian. Ah.
Yeah, the title of this post is "The Perfect Christian Beautiful Emo Slut with Tattoos."
Yeah, okay.
And then Eddie Boy replies to it and says, Melanie, beautiful, and I will die for her to be safe from her stalkers and her perverted followers because she deserves to be happy and live your life with someone she really likes and makes Melanie laugh out loud. And I know that she's feeling a little bit better. Then I know she's seen someone right now because obviously she's in love with someone. You can tell by her eyes that's love. All the clueless weirdos and stalkers and followers don't know anything about love. Mandy, if you're reading this, I hope you have a wonderful day. Who's Mandy?
Read the next one. Because he goes, sorry, I meant Melanie. Mandy.
Melanie's actual stalker, the one she acknowledged, that was some random mentally ill guy, by the way. Like, that turned out to be nothing. The guy just sued her because she made a bunch of videos, like, calling him out by name and having a bunch of other people say, like, this guy's stalking me. We need to do something about him. And then as soon as she got sued, she dropped it and never brought it up again. And I think she had to pay the guy. So all these guys still think like, oh, Sean Sharto. It's that guy Sean Sharto. It's like a 63-year-old schizophrenic guy who lives in his car. And I think he's completely forgotten about Melanie now. But then she doesn't care about all the other guys. It's only that guy.
Yeah, well, the other guys are giving her money sometimes. You have Mocktack, who's never subscribed, never followed.
One of the weirdest things I've seen on the internet. So Pervy Avocado, that guy posts a screenshot of Melanie's Instagram where she's posting like MCR lyrics or something. And then he does this amateur psychoanalysis. Should someone tell her that Joey is getting married and that he's moved on, and so should she?
And that's her choice of lyrics,
right? Is clearly self-evident. She's clearly crying in this. She's got through whatever. And then he replies, thinking it's her, Melanie, I don't know about marriage. I know you're heartbroken because of your extra Joey. I don't know what happened between you two. I need you to be very strong and allow yourself to move on. Have faith that you might just meet the right guy for you. I know how you feel. I have had my heart broken. 3, believe me when I say this. It deeply hurts me. I was depressed for like 2 years over a breakup that I thought she was the one, but I found out that she was pregnant from some guy just meant. But anyway, just about you, and I think you know very well who I am, and I pretty much know I like you, and believe me when I say this, I would love to take you places, road trips to spoiling you, like you should deserve. Be happy with your special someone. Makes you laugh, makes you feel happy, makes you giggle, make you feel comfortable, and you be yourself. And I'm a silly guy who loves to laugh and embarrass myself, sometimes just like you. One thing I do know, God loves you, and so do I. God bless you, women of God shall be married soon.
That was so fucking funny.
And like, you know, guys like that, if they got everything they wanted, if he somehow went to Melanie's house and she was like, I want to come hang out with you, what would happen is the second she says anything or she says like, hey, can you not touch that? He would just be like, what the fuck? And then storm out like he does at his jobs. Like, he could not first fight with any of these guys. They would just leave, or they would try and cheat on you, or they would like break a bunch of your stuff. Like, that's what would happen if they were ever in a relationship.
True.
They could not handle any amount of pressure.
On your computer.
Yeah.
Evil.
Like leak your nudes. Yeah. Those guys are like, yeah, you tell him to like wash his socks and he leaks your nudes. That's what all those guys would be if they actually had like the intelligence to get women at all. They're just those guys.
Nude stealers. God damn it. Eddie's gonna definitely do something interesting.
Yeah, I hope he gets up there to Dallas. I'm not going to tell him where it is, but I know where it is.
It is kind of crazy. She's just been obsessed with Lara Croft Tomb Raider for, 25 years of her life, basically?
Yeah, she was playing it on Kick the other day and losing over and over again.
That pisses me off.
How are you not good at the game you're obsessed with like that?
I don't know. They just want credit for, like, this is my thing, and I'm going to say it's my thing. And no, I'm not good at it. No, I don't have most of the games. I don't know any information about it, but this is my thing, and you have to treat this like it's my thing because it's on my t-shirt. It's like the way a 6-year-old thinks about stuff.
Even though she's, like, Lara Croft is very popular overall compared to most games, it's still one of those things where, like, not many people makes it their thing. So it's like
it's usually horny guys.
Well, there's Angelina Jolie, and then
okay, but she was her.
I mean, all she does now, how old is she? You know, like 36. You said
37.
Right? 37. All she does, she makes like half of her videos are her just bitching about like Lara Croft's facial features and how they don't look like the fucking Tomb Raider 2 cone tits version. That, like,
they should just not make new Tomb Raider games. Because I'm not interested in Tomb Raider, and it seems like all the people who like Tomb Raider, they're just like, her eyebrows are too far apart, her hips are too wide, they put the gun on the wrong side, and the graphics. Well, how about nobody gets Tomb Raider?
I think maybe the fans can correct me if I'm wrong, but the reboot where it was like a more of an Uncharted game where Lara Croft didn't have big tits. I think that one got like a lot of critical acclaim, and it was like very loved
because it was a better game.
The broader audience or whatever.
You don't have big tits when you're hiking all day, running through mountains and shit.
Speak for yourself. I have big tits whenever I want. Let me
go to the rock climbing gym. That's what Lara Croft would look like.
Let me claim my tits. Fuck, man. Rudy.
Oh, what an awesome series to get into. I want to get into Spyro the Dragon, like hardcore.
Gotta call him Spiral.
I haven't played it yet, though. I played the demo on the crash disc.
You gotta say it's your favorite game and call him Spiral.
Spiral.
Spyro was my dog. I love that shit.
I had the Game Boy game.
Mm-hmm. I don't know which Spyro I played, but I did like it.
It was Spyro and the Crashes for me, and Tomb Raiders. Those are my 3 games. And Twisted Metals, 4 games. Those are my PS.
There's a show now, you know.
PlayStation.
Just kidding.
The first 3 Crash games were great.
Oh yeah.
The first one was really hard.
They're fucking. I played it on the last charity stream. I'm struggling. I've been playing it on every charity stream for the past 3 years, and I'm only in the second room. It's so fucking hard.
That's your Portal. Outrun Portal.
Yeah.
70 hours to beat it. So funny.
My dad still holds it over my sister and I's head that he was able to beat Crash 2. And
you mentioned that. I think I was trying to remember who that was recently.
Yeah. Still brings it up to this day.
That's impressive. My dad couldn't have done that.
Yeah. You guys have anything like that where your parents beat you in something that they shouldn't have, and they still brag about it, or at least it was appropriate for a time?
My dad, we were playing the N64 WWF game or whatever, and I played a lot and was pretty cracked. But he figured out how to beat China and whack you in the behind in the nuts. Yeah, with her big clit, and he just kept
the clit blaster. You have to hit A, B, and C at the same time.
We were doing my sisters were playing too, so it was a 4v everybody whatever match, fatal 4-way I think they call it. And I was doing good, but they were teaming on me, and my dad kept fucking hitting me in the nuts from behind.
Oh,
and I remember that got really frustrating.
Out of fucking
my little 9-year-old ass. Yeah, I forget who won in the end, but
yeah, that must be more common now. Adults can just intuitively learn to play any game that the kids are playing. I guess I was right on the edge of that. My parents played arcade games, but they didn't really get into Nintendo or anything. It was kind of after their time by that point. So they could play a little bit, but you could tell that they didn't have the neurology going on that would let you just pick up any game instantly the way we could.
Right.
And I guess that's sort of the default now. Your parents can beat a level for you.
My mom got really into Cruisin' USA, the arcade game, because it was at the there was a franchise on Air Force base, on military bases in general, called Anthony's Pizza, and we had one of those on Guam. We'd go there on Fridays for Pizza Friday, and they had those arcade games, and my mom would fucking be crying laughing while running pedestrians over in that game. So good.
Yeah, I never played that one.
I was gonna say, the only games that my dad played that didn't come from me playing them as well were Myst. He had Myst, and he playing that game. And then I remember that game creeped me out when I was a kid. I thought it was too scary to play.
My dad was a Myst guy too. He had it at least. I don't know how much he played.
And then they also had Lemmings. I don't know if you remember Lemmings. That game was
Lemmings
so sick.
Lemmings is so fun.
Yeah, I tried downloading it. It's hard to find it, and I'm not smart enough to do a zip file or whatever.
One of my cousin's houses I would go to, we'd go and look for a holiday or whatever, and they had Game Gear, and we'd plug it into the wall to play, obviously, because you don't want to make your family bankrupt with batteries. And so I'd rotate between Game Gear, and then my brother would be on Lemmings on the PC, I think, and then we'd switch off. All right, you play this now. Getting our gaming in. Oh, you know what else they had though? They had Clay Fighter for Genesis. You remember Clay Fighter, the fighting game where they had the fucking blue suede shoes, the Elvis snowman? Clay Fighter 3D? Google it, you might have your brain triggered.
Oh yeah, I rented that for Super Nintendo. I think.
Yeah, I definitely rented it too.
Yeah.
It might have been Super Nintendo. I played it on as well, actually.
Oh, it had Earthworm Jim in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an N64 version.
It was kind of a little multiverse, right?
Negatively received. Oh no, Clay Fighter 2, Judgment Clay, was released in '95 for the
Judgment
Super Nintendo,
Clay.
and then the first one also Super Nintendo from '93. Okay. Parody of Street Fighter. It says.
Judgment Clay is fucking ridiculous.
That's so awesome.
They got away with whatever back then. Oh, it was like that Sonic video we watched when they sent the kids to Alcatraz to play the Sonic game.
Oh yeah,
That special was
such a 1994 video.
It was so interesting because they really fucking cared about advertising these games that were like not much to them really.
Yeah, that was the thing. You look at the old Genesis ads and stuff, or even back to the Atari. It's like boo, boo, boo. Oh my god! And there's a kid being like blown away in his chair. And then you look at the actual game, and it's like boop. It's like 2 pixels on the screen.
That shit always pissed me off, man.
They swindled so many people. You would have to go out and spend like $85 to get an Atari.
I feel
game.
like, I mean, Doom was literally the first game I remember that really started like to change. Where I'm like, oh, games can be fucking crazy cool. Like that game.
You can look around now.
I remember getting to the point on Doom where I was beating it quick, like just speedrunning it basically as a kid. Because what else do you do? We played it a lot, and I got to the point where I could beat it so fast, and then all of a sudden I figured out, or my dad showed me like, oh, you can make it harder. I'm like, what? Awesome.
Did you ever have Doom 2?
Mm-hmm. I played every Doom up to the really dark one.
Yeah, and we played it. We played it in 5th grade on the school computers, and it took until like the very last day of school when we were like we didn't have any. Our teacher didn't have anything to grade or anything. And he's just like watching us play on the computers. He's like, "You guys been playing this game all year?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Probably shouldn't have let you guys do that."
I have a vivid memory of one of the first times after my dad hooked up the computer when we moved to St. Louis from Guam. And I remember my dad playing Doom, and he had a couple of his friends over that had transferred also to that base, so we'd already known them for a couple of years. And they were all drinking like bags of wine and sitting around taking turns on Doom, or just landing, I can't remember. And killing Bill Clinton over and over. The fucking Bill Clinton wad and the fucking Barney wad. So awesome.
That's so sick. The 90s were awesome.
Yeah, my dad would have only been 29 or 30 at that point, so he was still in his fuck around dipshit mode, I guess.
Back in a USB thumb drive era, when you were in high school, somebody figured out how to get the Doom 2 file on it. So there's like another resurgence of me playing Doom in school, Doom 2, but this time we figured out how to set up LAN in the computer lab. So we would have like 4-on-4 Doom, and it's like I've never played Doom on LAN before. It was fucking sick.
I think Andrew and I
that
talked
teaches
about
you
it
how
before.
to do it. How to set up the networking.
The first time I ever played Doom was the multiplayer, and it was using the U.S. Air Force's computers at the weather station.
No, Chet, when I was in high school, we did the same thing, but it was with the demo for Unreal Tournament.
Oh, sick.
And evil friend Alan, like, he was a real fucking computer nerd, and he overclocked one of the computer lab PCs so he could have a slight performance, and it melted the CPU into the motherboard. It completely broke a school computer.
Oh,
they don't clean the fans.
I would steal those Dell optic mice from high schools.
Mm-hmm.
I would just yoink them.
People would steal the balls out of the ball mice.
That was such a pain in the ass.
People got so evil, they would steal those. They would put paper in the CD-ROM drive.
Yeah, they would steal those balls out of the ball mice and throw it at the windows of the empty buildings around the school.
In a way, I guess it was kind of for good, because it was usually computers that were way outdated. It would be like 2006 and we were using Windows ME shit. You know what? But once you get new computers...
We hated our like 8th grade French teacher, and I never personally did this, but like kids in my class would just take the plants that she had in there, and this was on like the 2nd floor of the school, and just toss them out the window when she wasn't looking.
So fucked up.
So man. Rude, man.
God.
Kids are evil, man. I was never like, I think my last year in public school was 3rd grade, so I never got to the evil years, really. Like, the worst, kids were really just fucking with each other at that point. Although also our teachers were like 91-year-old women from Mount Vernon, Illinois. Fucking grew up with Laura Ingalls Wilder. No one's really gonna mess with them. Yeah, they were old as shit. Man, that's crazy to think about now. That was third grade for me, so I was like 96, and I had a teacher that was like over 80 years old, and she's like, "Yeah, I taught in a one-room schoolhouse." I'm like, "I fucking bet you did."
Yeah, like
I remember having that thought basically, like, "Yeah, I believe that." Even
good for them for their longevity, but it's not really great to have people who grew up like before electricity teaching your kids. What knowledge can you really impart to people when you've grown up in a world that's so different?
Okay, well, ironically, I was in what was supposed to be the advanced English class, and I learned how to sew and crochet in that class. I'm not kidding.
Well, that's awesome. That's a good skill.
Yeah, I didn't. She basically, we were all the smart kids, so she knew. She'd been doing that for like 50, 60 years. She's like, I don't need to teach these kids fucking anything.
They should teach kids that stuff. People always talk about it like they should replace biology or something, but they should just also teach that. They should teach people how to fix their pants.
They just
they
guys
did.
Don't take home ec.
Yeah,
sometimes
no,
they
like
do.
I saw this post. I started following this like remember old times like fucking bullshit account or whatever on Instagram, and it was like there should be a class like classes that teach you how to do your taxes, basic car repairs, sewing, like how to cook meals, and I'm like. I took a sewing elective in grade 7 or 8. I was forced to. There was like a home ec, like cooking elective. Like I literally know how to sew from going to fucking high school.
Yeah, I never had that. I think we had a cooking one, but we didn't really get too much into it. Like they would just have us make a recipe for cornbread or something, and like there were like 8 people around the oven, so no one's really learning what's going on.
In my area, and I think just across a lot of the U.S., they have. Like the quality can be either home ec or shop or wood shop or auto shop.
Yeah.
And of course
I had the worst shop teacher.
Of course it splits up like super gendered. Dude, when I cleaned at Utica High School, really nice school, I was like the sub custodian there for like half of a school year. And 2 guys that I used to work with at the car wash, their mom was the home ec teacher there, so I would always do like an extra good job.
I had this shop teacher, and it was like the hardest class to get through because she would say "neo" instead of "you know" after every sentence.
Neo.
She had a really high voice too, so she would be like, "Oh, we gotta go use the bandsaw, neo."
Neo.
And I would just be sitting there like clenching my teeth, trying not to laugh.
Did you do the same bit that I did with it? Because we had a teacher that he was like an English teacher, and instead of saying "on," he always said "arn." And so the bit that I would do is like try and say "on" in sentence system and always say "arn" like he did it.
Arn.
Did you do the same thing, saying "nyo" to her?
I think I maybe.
Might have just done it
I don't know if I
thinking
could
about
refrain
it, to
from
be
laughing
honest.
long enough. I think one time I was laughing, and then she said, what's so funny, yo?" And I had to leave the room.
It's like her she.
And that was also the same teacher. She was a huge redneck. And there was a Muslim kid in my class who didn't want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance because I guess under God, it conflicts with the teachings about Allah and how he's all around us or something, that he doesn't have a physical location. But then she got all mad and like made him go to the principal. But then the principal was like, "No, we can't make them do this. And also you're in Massachusetts. Like we're not in Alabama.
Yeah.
So you got to chill a little bit."
Chill out. But he's a Muslim.
He's one of them.
He
He was like Moroccan too.
how people acted, man.
Like as far as you can get from where the terrorists were.
The terrace.
The terrorists.
Oh man. Hope 9/11 never happens again. That shit was annoying.
That made people so crazy. I was actually listening to an old Howard clip from right after 9/11 where Richard Christie's talking about how he was afraid because there was a Muslim guy next to him on a plane.
God.
And like Robin was the only one who pushed back on it a little bit. Like, oh, maybe he was just nervous because everyone's
Howard was still all
discriminating.
freaked out at that point. He's like, yeah, I
And they're like,
understand.
"Oh, yeah, you should have said something. You should have said something."
Should've
Like it's
said
just an
something.
Indian guy. Everybody was like that, even Democrats.
Yeah, I remember not long after it, I remember there was a Sikh like temple attacked in Wisconsin, I think. That was like a direct reaction to it. Fucking idiot American. Fuck you, Sikh motherfuckers. They're like, no. Wrong.
Those are the guys that you use to play Hindus and Muslims off each other.
Yep.
Those are your friends if you're a white person. The British Empire learned about that. They were the best soldiers.
The British Empire, I'm glad they chilled out too.
Well, aren't they sending troops to Ukraine now? I saw Noah fucking quote tweet a story about that today. That seems bad.
They're gonna send troops to Ukraine, but try to take it for themselves.
Anyone who's in the military right now, like, I don't feel bad about where they send them. Like, why are you in the military now? Unless you're like, if you're in the Ukrainian military, like, you got drafted because you have to do it, that's one thing. But, like, if you're in the British military now, why did you join that?
A lot of Ukrainian soldiers signed up, like, the day of the invasion. Like,
yeah, I mean, I can understand getting swept up in it.
Guys, I mean,
it's like the biggest day of your life.
We were just talking about that, but imagine, like, no wonder the recruiting numbers for 9/11 were so crazy. Band of Brothers coming out 2 days before.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers that turned 18 were like, I'm going right now. Let me in.
I still don't know what the Ukraine's fighting over. What's the whole? What are they all pissed off over each other over? You know?
Russia's
trying land.
Yeah.
Land? They're just trying to take some land. They're just being greedy.
They want the Luhansk and Donetsk, and they want Crimea, which they already have.
Yeah, they want the East and the South Peninsula to themselves. A lot of nice resources there, but they've wasted so many lives and so much money and so many resources.
This is past the point where you would restart from save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that was a war you shouldn't have declared. They should have waited or done it earlier or done something else because it just didn't work. It just didn't work what they wanted.
It's very bad, and of course, the biggest victims are the people that had nothing to do with it. Like the people that have the fucking... On the Russian side, you have the sanctions on them, which they've had horrible sanctions on them for a long time.
Right.
All for the stupidest shit. It's all just greed.
And why does Russia feel so entitled to this land that they're trying to take? Was it theirs previously?
It's kind of
they used to have it.
Yeah,
culturally
it's been
similar.
a back and forth thing for a very long time.
There are also a bunch of Russian separatists there.
Yeah.
People that say that we want to join Russia, but it's not recognized.
Yeah.
Man, that shit's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thanks for explaining it to me. I've been kind of afraid to ask people, but I guess doing it on a recorded podcast was the best spot to do it. But thank you guys.
Maybe there are other people that were afraid to ask.
You know, and I knew some of that, but I like to play the everyman dumb guy, for the listeners, some people may
honestly,
not know the context of things.
The safest position you can take without A, looking dumb, or B, pissing people off if you don't know anything about it is, you just say, I hate war, which is true.
I support both sides.
I'm going to wait until I look at the data, that's what I'll say.
I really am. It really does piss me off because I'm probably one of the most obsessed with Russia people that's not like a USSR commie LARPer that's also a tanky. I just
love a Jackson Hinkie.
That's what that's what I mean, like a MAGA communist. I don't care. I don't like Russia, what they're doing at all military-wise. I just love the insane amount of different cultures there and shit. And
it's a cool place. It's a cool landscape.
I'm really good at playing it on GeoGuessr, so the other reason I like.
It's one of those places where I like wonder if I got re-rolled into being born in Russia, like, would my life be any different?
It wouldn't be that different because I bet you would still be working in some sort of mechanic industry, and
also
also
like
you'd be a KHL fan
on the computer. Yeah, like
you'd be like,
I'd still like hockey a bunch.
You'd be like an Akbars fan, be like, these motherfuckers suck dick this year.
Yeah, no, I think I'm sure there's like a bizarro Russian version of me out there somewhere.
He probably looks just like you as well.
Probably would have gone to Counter-Strike instead of Halo at 15 years old. Probably would have been a pro. Might have been simple.
I love how all the Russian Zoomers too, if they didn't land into a Counter-Strike right away, they're all just fucking sick at Valorant. It just makes sense. Valorant almost makes more sense for Russians to play just color-wise. Like the Zoomers playing it, it reminds me just like, I mean, I watch the guy I use for my my fake cam when I'm streaming on my account, and the guy leaned into his fucking monitor. That's Bouquet. He's a like top 15 in the world Valorant player, and he's Russian. And I'll go in and say stuff in his chat in Russian just from the translator, and he goes, "Oh, I'm hot, bro, hello, bro," because he knows I'm Russian. So funny.
That's awesome.
Well, speaking of stupid questions and games,
I
paid $13 for Game Pass because I want to try out Starfield.
Yeah.
And I was just like kind of scrolling through, seeing what they got, like get my money's worth or whatever. Yakuza. Never played the Yakuza games before. What's the one that you're supposed to like start with if you haven't done that?
That's a great question. I've never played.
I don't know. I know Outlaw played it. I think that's what he was playing when he said his sex cream thing.
Yeah.
You could ask that question on Twitter and get a ton of engagement as well. So, you want
I'm sure the
Rank
Patreon comments will be
true.
Yeah, well, I think Yakuza 0 was like a newer one that a lot of people got into on Twitch.
Andrew played
like a prequel.
Andrew played them, I think, too. You can ask him, I believe, and Tom, I think, too, because Tom's a weeaboo.
Yeah, Tom is a total weeb.
He's a weeb.
He's so good at hiding it.
Let's see.
He's not, dude. He's not.
He buys jerseys to make people think he's into sports and not anime. Misdirection.
Tom should start dressing like those the guys in the sagging community, the Japanese hip hop guys that wear like they pay like $170 for a South Pole T-shirt to be sent to Japan, and they're like, then they go fucking take a picture in front of their sick ass car in front of Mount Fuji, and I'm like, yeah, it's the coolest thing ever.
Those guys are awesome.
I followed like 80 of them in one day, and I'm like, finally, my Instagram feed is perfect. I mean, the only other guy I like more than that right now is the Japanese guy, and this is really common apparently in Norway too. The Japanese guy is obsessed with American muscle because it's like the inverse of here, where all the guys drive ricers and shit. Yeah. And I follow this guy that has a Dodge Ram, a Viper, and a Hellcat, and they're all fucking.
That's so cool.
They're all. But every picture, it looks so weird because when he's driving his Ram, he pulls an American camper trailer behind it too because he goes all over the country. And every picture with it, I'm like, where the fuck is this in America? It looks so much like Japan. Then I gotta look closer. I'm like, oh, never mind. It's just such a North American look. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Does he speak English?
Find his account. He's never spoken on Twitter, at least. I don't know if he speaks it or not.
Okay, I was hoping he had like a cowboy accent.
I think he's a total Marabou.
Or if he said partner and stuff. He should start a Japanese convoy.
Absolutely.
Against the vaccine or whatever. Whatever they're mad at right now.
But yeah, apparently in Norway too. An Axel from Bergen told me. There's a big American muscle culture over there. Where guys drive around listening to like Skinner and shit and driving their Mustangs. So cool.
They used to have longboats. Now they've got nothing.
Awesome.
Other than cars.
Yep. Norway's cool too, though. We should invade them for oil.
Yeah, they have like 10 people there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a mountain with a ring around it.
We easily take it. No allies? It's ours.
Yeah, they're not in NATO. Why do they do that? What's the deal with that?
Me as president? Gosh, we should do it. What are they going to do? What are you going to do?
I think Trump suggested that with Greenland, or he wanted to buy it or something.
He wanted to buy it, yeah.
Like, NATO is not going to declare war on the United States.
Yeah, because
it's not going to happen.
Didn't he tweet that some dipshit made like a Photoshop of the Trump Tower in Greenland, like in the middle of the main city?
Yeah.
And Trump tweeted and said, "Of course, I'd never do this."
That would be great for the local economy.
Oh man, just make it a casino.
Yeah, it would ruin stuff, but it would be like a 10,000% increase in the number of jobs and people coming over and stuff.
It'd be so fucked up to put like a big ass casino full of alcohol up in those places where they've banned it. Like there's
only in the casino though.
Isn't there towns in Nunavut where they're completely dry?
I don't know. It would make sense.
I'm not gonna Google it. I'll let someone tell me because I like when our viewers are like, actually, this is true. But yeah, I believe a Canadian did tell me that.
Nunavut dry communities is there's 6 of them as of 2019.
They got none of it up and none of it.
That's good.
That's right. Yeah, alcohol combined with like the effects of genocide and stuff, it just destroys communities.
Yeah. It's really
people
sad.
retreat into that because they're being forced onto reservations, and it creates a vicious cycle.
That's a fucking also a crazy horrible problem in Russia, and probably still underreported, like the numbers of alcoholism there, but it's so bad.
Yeah, that's just what like the effects of the decommunization and everything we did over there in the 90s. That's just been offloaded onto like alcohol abuse, and everyone's dealing with it that way.
It makes sense not to be one of those people that, like I said, that's like, oh, the USSR was the best, but the Soviet Union. Every one of these videos I watch of these former bastions of the Soviet Union, like whether it's like even like current places in Russia, but more ethnic places like Dagestan and shit, all the locals there, all they can like speak of is like highly of how those are the golden years, you know, and it makes sense because there's so much more resource-wise being pumped into those areas. And even just for industries being there. It's crazy.
Dude, I'm looking up this these dry communities and none of it now. This is really interesting because like obviously they're dry because of how much alcohol has ruined like indigenous communities and stuff.
Yeah.
So there are 6 that are completely dry, and there's also 12 communities that operate under a committee system. In these communities, anybody wishing to purchase alcohol must obtain permission, including the quantity, from a locally elected alcohol education community or committee, before they're allowed to order from Iqaluit or one of the like non-dry communities or whatever. And then there's also a bunch of communities where it's like limited and stuff in the Northwest Territories. But interestingly, in Alberta, there is also Cardston County, communities contained within. They do not allow licensing for sales of liquor in their like communities, and these are all like incredibly Mormon towns. Like Raymond, Alberta. And I guess like as recently as 2022, they considered allowing it, but they said no.
I didn't realize there were Alberta Mormons. I guess it would make sense.
There's a guy that I follow. I've talked about him before. He does like photography at the airport in Iqaluit. It's kind of like a plane head. He drives a snowmobile out there to do it. But he's from that area originally, and he talks a lot about like how bad alcohol tore apart that area. I mean, the whole area, and then half of his tweets are in the Inuktitut, the Aboriginal language, where it's like the symbols. That's so cool to see. I'm like just on a tweet that's the quote tweeting like some bullshit.
Yeah,
I like seeing that.
It's a very pleasing like script to look at.
Yeah, I bet that's one of those things. It sounds really cool and it looks just wild.
I would love to eat some blubber.
Yeah, they still get to have their whale hunts too.
Yeah, because they didn't ruin it for everybody by killing all of them.
Right.
They knew to take 1 or 2.
And they really do use fucking all that shit. It's
yeah,
crazy.
there's nothing else to use.
All that blubber does not go to waste.
There's 2 types of stuff, whale and snow.
I remember reading multiple like Moby Dick style books, just fishing books that took place in the olden time, like I think Kon-Tiki too. The guys who got lost. Yeah, I was always just like curious of what that would taste like. Just eat a big chunk of raw blubber or big chunk of raw fish, not in the sushi way, just dying from starvation. Like that suck ass.
People got fucked up exploring the Pacific. That's where all those like the Swiss Family Robinson and all that kind of stuff happened.
Y'all underestimated how fucking
on
big
boats.
It was.
Yeah, you go out there and there's just nothing there. You wash up on Easter Island if you're lucky.
I like the people that went out for 3 months then realized they were barely moving because of the currents.
Yeah.
They're like 300 miles. What the fuck? This shit sucks. We're going back home.
Fuck the Pacific.
They're back home in like 2 days. Just turning the boat around.
I'm glad the Pacific is shrinking.
Yeah, I'm glad that Garbage Patch is fucking it up. We should build something on there.
It was so disappointing that wasn't a real patch.
Just
like you can't walk on it.
I think the Pacific Ocean's, it's crazy. It's so fucking big. It is. It's massive. As a Pacific Ocean expert, I learned to swim in that motherfucker.
I learned to swim in the bathtub.
Sure. Is that real? You could probably
I
still
almost
swim in
drowned
there.
every time.
Probably still swimming there, little man. Woo!
Just getting in there. It's filled up like a foot.
Alex doing a cannonball at the side of the bathtub like a 2-year-old. Hey! So funny. Calling the hotel.
I learned to swim in the fountain at the Bellagio.
Calling the hotel. I can't get out.
I can't get out. Do you have a life vest? So what are the rules for the pool over here? Pointing to the fountain.
Bringing your fucking kids all out. They're all fucking floaties and shit. You're all climbing in. They're like, hey.
Someone dropped a bunch of pennies in the pool. You guys see that?
Oh, God. Even worse, being the fucking... Your kids are in there getting all the coins. They didn't know. They're just messing around. They didn't know that you can't take them out, even though you're over there like, go get them.
They're bringing them into your purse. Your purse is all wet.
Coin pusher.
Bringing them to the coin star, still wet.
I remember
These are from the Bellagio.
I've talked about it before, but walking down to the 4-H fair to the Midway to the carnival games when I was like 10 and walking around the coin pusher game looking for drop coins, because then, you know, you find one, you're good to go. You start playing. But the worst is seeing adult men walking around those coin pushers.
There's some breaking news here, folks, in the FYM universe. So Vince, as we know, he's been trying to. He's going to buy a new sex doll. He's replacing Amber, which I think that's a little bit gross. Like, it should still be pretty, like, fresh, her dying. So he is a widower, and I know people cope with grief in different ways, but I would have expected him to wait longer. But yeah, here we go. Vinny's looking for love. So he's doing a contest of 4 different sex dolls. Candy wants to be a superstar. She's for a big teddy bear to join with for both Vinny and earn. I'm going to try that one again. She's for a big teddy bear to join with for both Vinny and earn success. All right.
Yes.
Angel has a crush on Vinny and would like to have him as her future hubby one day. Brandy would like to be his first black girlfriend and loves to party in front of the cameras. Finally, we got Bella. She was Amber's best friend and waiting for her turning to earn the key. She was Amber's best friend and waiting for her turning to earn the key to Vinny's heart. I guess you wanted to say turn.
Ugh. So she was waiting for her friend to die so she could steal her husband? That's not nice.
The voting will start soon, and in October 2023, their profiles will be exposed. Then, in air quotes, whoop whoop. So I don't know. They're all sex dolls for sure. Candy looks a little young.
I don't know if he's going to be able to afford it. I feel like he's going to chicken out again.
No.
Did he ever go? I think he's live right now.
I think
I don't see a sex doll.
I think it'd be pretty woke if he went with Brandy, the black sex doll.
She's interested in being his first #black girlfriend.
She loves having fun in front of the while the camera's on too. Yep. I mean, that's probably our most highest chance of seeing him actually fuck one of those things again on camera, I guess.
Well, and I think
personality.
We get to learn a lot of insights into how Vince thinks about race, which I think would be an interesting wrinkle in this. I'm sure he'd say some like really awful shit by mistake.
My ebony sweetheart. And we've been watching BET. I only use black wrestlers now when I'm playing the wrestling games. And yes, I use the N-word.
Well, she's allowed to call me cracker, so I'm allowed to say it. Yeah, just sex
I've been
doll
making
gives
her
him the
soul
pass.
food. I've been making her soul food in the microwave. It's just mac and cheese.
God.
I've been making collard greens. I'm gonna learn how to make collard greens.
I think he's.
I figured out how to make box brains. I'm gonna learn how to make box brains.
If only we had a way to rig the voting.
Yeah, to rig the voting to make sure that Randy wins. That would make all my dreams come true.
I don't want to get indicted though for fraud.
Yeah, where do you vote for in this exactly?
I'm sure it'll be a YouTube community poll.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's up yet.
Something official like that.
Yeah.
We don't want any ballot stuffing, just doll stuffing.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I will be wearing a condom this time.
In October 2023. That's when voting will start.
Tomorrow. That's coming up. That's
tomorrow, folks.
Yeah.
That picture looks so amazing. Him with the giant sunglasses, he looks like a bug.
Somebody better fucking wake up Green Day tomorrow.
In that picture, the picture with him with the doll Candy, where he's wearing the Spirit Halloween police uniform with the sleeves cut off. It's like the hot cops from Arrested Development, and he thinks he looks cool and hot. Like it has nothing to do with the police. It's not like, oh, she's a police girl. He got that because he thinks he looks hot.
Oh,
it has no context.
Him there. He's like, oh, this is pretty cool.
This is pretty cool. Spirit Halloween. I get most of my clothes at Spirit Halloween. I can't do clothes shopping for most of the year, but October I can do clothes shopping.
Spurt Halloween.
Spurt Halloween.
Calling it Spurt.
God.
Because I go on a spending spurt. I go on a spending spurt when I see it.
A growth spree.
So Bella, the one that was Amber's best friend, and it's posted about her. It says she's in the waiting list till winter 2023, so you can't buy her off the website right now. So that's another reason not to vote for her.
I don't know if that's the waiting list or he just doesn't have the money right now. I wonder.
Okay, wait. Oh, so another one waiting list till 2023. December 2023 for Candy, one that wants to be a country music star, and it doesn't say anything about Brandy, which would be his first black girlfriend. Think about her waiting list.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't have the money, and I think he's also I think he's counting on getting a bunch of money from working for a radio station.
Oh no!
I think that's what he's thinking because he said he's going to graduate from that fake school in November, and I think he thinks he's going to get a job.
If there's one
I guess
thing
he doesn't
know,
do the ceremony or something.
There's one thing I know about radio is that your first job in the door is definitely going to be paid.
Yeah.
It's like notoriously the unpaid interns that are used for bits.
And every time he brings it up, he talks about, I'm going to leave Crocs with a smile on my face.
Nice.
Like he completely believes that the second he graduates from that school, he's going to be able to work at a radio station day one, and they're going to pay him like $100,000 a year for him to say, "Oh, okay, everybody, I'm just going to be having sex with my doll here."
Depressing.
Wow, I just noticed Vince's video from the other day. I don't know if Tom watched it on his Return to Freak Friday, but
the Jersey one?
Yeah.
Oh, that one was brutal. He has like 100 different jerseys for like Happy Gilmore, and every movie somehow it has a jersey that's on Amazon, and he must have spent like $800 on just these jerseys. He has this massive pile of them, and he goes through them one by one, and the whole time there's this epilepsy strobe light going.
Yeah,
it's
so
brutal.
So he should be able to afford a sex doll, easy.
Yeah, he spends so much money on t-shirts and shit, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Like wrestling merch is so expensive.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's stimulating the economy.
Yeah, I think it's small businesses that he's supporting.
Yeah, Spirit Halloween,
the Doi Doi
nature.
Spirit Halloween does need loyal customers as they are only open for a month out of the year.
Yeah, it's like an event. It's like a band coming to your town, but it's every town.
Yep. God bless all of the haunted house employees and haunted hayride employees. You make this time of year possible. I hope you don't get kicked too much. Punched.
I think it would be fun to work. I want to work on a haunted house.
Well, if you move back to Ohio, you'll have a grand
I thought you got
opportunities.
scared.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to scare people. And it'd
You're
just be
the
fun
one
to
who gets
Chat,
scared.
Chat,
Just
this
pop
time
my head
next
away.
year.
Hey.
Chat, this time next year, if you're back in Ohio, you have your pick of it. You'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a 6 foot plus tall guy with long hair. Like you're hired.
Yeah. No, I want to do the thing, but my uncle, when he used to do it, he was the guy with the chainsaw, but he didn't have the chain on it. But he still
that's the
read
best.
it.
That's always the best guy because it scares the kids the most.
That one still freaks me out a little bit. It's such a convincing sprint at you. Ugh,
that's awesome.
Creeps me out
Haunted
just thinking
hayrides
about
are
it.
better because I like when they would grab kids off of it. That was the scariest. You're trying to hold on to your friend.
I don't remember that.
They're gonna get you.
I just remember going around in the circle.
They'd bring them back right away. Well, we went to the ones up near Romeo, but also those guys get kicked in the face and they'd pull their mask up and go, "Come on, man, don't kick."
Well, don't grab children.
Yeah, I don't want to get. I think they had kids.
I
on
hate
there
when kids squirm.
I think they had like scripted kids on there, like that would act like they're part of like our group and then get yanked off. Is that sort of
They
thing?
had people like me who would go in there and pretend to be kids.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Hey, let go of me. Let go of me.
You're sitting there smoking next to a bunch of 7-year-olds. Oh god.
They see you like just open your car with the key fob. Beep beep. I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't be scared of it now because I know it's not real. But back then,
Yeah.
it was...
Took me a long time to realize those pumpkins weren't real. I don't believe in pumpkins.
Oh, either. Did you guys ever go smashing pumpkins?
No.
No.
I did.
I
once.
respect pumpkins.
I did
Well,
once.
after they were like rotting and it was over after October, you would like drop them on the driveway.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
have to clean it up. Like, ew.
Well,
Damn.
Oh, no, I just mean taking like soccer kicks at other people's pumpkins when after they've been rotted.
Too
like that.
rude.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, we did it on Devil's Night when I was like 8th grade.
I've talked about the pumpkin rolling thing that my dad and his friends came up with the car, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You
I'll
roll
tell it again.
going fast as fuck.
Yeah, basically, my dad and his friends came up with this thing where they would find like a T intersection in like a neighborhood, and then they would go up. They would be in a car. They'd have two guys in the back, and then the driver. I guess you could have had another guy if he was there, but whatever. And basically, you would just drive down the road like straight at the house that's at the end of the one, in the middle of the T intersection, I guess, where you would just, if you kept going straight, you would just go into their driveway and into their garage if there was open or whatever. And so as they were flying down the road, the guys in the back would gently like lay down pumpkins so that they would start rolling at the speed of the car, and then the driver would slam on the brakes, but the pumpkins would still go, and then there would be a huge boom, and the pumpkins would smack into people's garage doors and explode at like 5 a.m.
God damn.
That's a great prank.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
That's great.
I know.
Requires a lot of planning, but if you can have those pumpkins hit the garage and explode.
It's got to be the right size, he said. If they're too big, they'll explode from the velocity of the spin, but if they're too small, they won't explode and make a cool noise or something like that. They had it down to a fucking science.
I was
a
smart.
Demon.
I was smart and didn't smash any pumpkins like around my own house. When I was at my friend's house way across town. So I didn't feel bad about doing it, but I would now because I'm an adult about things. But
yeah.
I think that getting your pumpkin kicked or whatever. Also, we would really just do it when there was fucking like big stacks of pumpkins. Not like we wouldn't fuck up people's jack-o'-lanterns with lights in it and shit. We were a little more respectful than that, and scared to go all the way up to the porch. But
and scared of the jack-o'-lanterns.
I think it's a more respectful prank still than TPing. That shit sucks to get down. When you TP someone's tree real good, it gets all wet and it's all stuck to the top of it. That shit's not coming down. You gotta go get it. Love
I'd
it.
be so pissed.
And that's
in the post-COVID era as well.
We'd be wearing
In
a
the
mask.
post-COVID era? Good luck finding the TP.
That'd be like throwing eggs last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Try throwing eggs.
Chet's like, don't get me started.
Wait, that was
It's like if you threw non-gay beer at someone's lawn. Try finding some.
The egg prices were spiking again last year because weren't all the carnivore people freaking out?
Yeah, I think by the time most people acknowledged it, it was kind of over.
Like most things.
Like it was more expensive.
Most things Republicans bitch about when it's not real.
Yeah, that's the thing about something like COVID.
thing.
Like it puts ripples into the economy and it makes stuff go up and go down as the supply chain works out all the kinks.
Supply and demand.
So it's your supply and demand.
Simple as.
Classic Rylan. It's supply and demand.
It's your supply and demand. The kid with the distressingly low voice in your class.
Your business class. That's all he says to everything.
I'm glad I never took a business class.
How'd you learn how to do your taxes?
Kindergarten.
Wow, Massachusetts is crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You learn how to dump tea into the harbor as a kid there?
No, that's a waste of tea.
Oh. Oh, you guys are really Massachusetts.
Imagine being a guy who wasn't aware that the tea party was happening and just goes for a swim. He's like, water tastes good today.
Yeah, it'd be very salty, but it would taste great.
Why does it smell like tea over here?
Yeah, it would still taste like shit, I think.
What are those people yelling about? I know.
It's a great day to be a fish who likes tea.
Just imagine a guy who normally goes swimming and drinks the ocean water. Yeah. I know what you mean,
it tastes a little better today. It's a little easier to choke it down today.
What are all those guys with middle parts doing up there on that boat? What are they dumping in there? They're all wearing their powder wigs for like in the court. So stupid. That's how everyone was back then. All the redcoats that wore powdered wigs. Amazing.
Yeah, those look goofy as hell.
Mm-hmm. That was from the time of the guy from the quarter and the dollar. They made that
Yeah,
shit.
the penny guy's newer.
Yep.
I don't know the penny guy yet. I'm only on President 8. I'm learning them one by one. I'm taking them one president per year. I've been doing it for 8 years.
AR-15 Bible study.
Yeah, it's like that. He hasn't talked to her in a couple days. I think he's mad. He's trying to get attention.
He's playing hard to find.
Does he keep getting ignored, or?
I think so. They're just people who have way more money. Like when she goes on Kick, there's a guy who drops 100 gifted.
Damn.
He can't afford that. He can't compete with that.
Would you like to be a leftist and watch?
He hasn't tithed on any of her videos in the past like 3 days.
Damn.
Has no comments, no likes towards her or anything.
Scorned lover.
I love him calling it tithing. Like that's not our description. He calls it tithing.
Yeah.
To give an e-girl money to read the Bible.
Tithing. But if you
so you can begat Methuselah all over your shorts.
But if you gave a girl that you thought was sexy and had an OnlyFans like $5.99 for the month to see her naked body, they'd be like, "You fucking simp! You simp!"
Yeah.
So cool.
Cock.
Yeah, that would be lame. You have to pay 10 times as much money as that, but also get less.
Oh man. Although I would not want to see Melanie naked even if I was in love with her like Andrew. I would just simply go to Pervy Avocados Reddit.
No, it looked like concentration camp footage. It's all bones.
Melanie Mac looks like and I'm not body shaming. I just think it's a shame that her body looks that way. She looks like one of the coffee aliens from Men in Black.
Maybe if that's your thing.
To me, listen, she has no shortage of suitors, so I don't feel very mean saying these things. She could have a mock tack in a second.
She should fly him out.
She could be Morgan Eugene Mac.
Mackett.
Mackett.
Melanie Eugene Mackett.
I think I called her Melanie Mackett before.
Yeah, I'm sure we've like made that connection before.
Oh, speaking of that, I thought of a thing that had only been uttered on Twitter once ever.
Mm-hmm.
It was 3 years ago. I thought of a good name that could be annoying if you want to use it. TikTok Shakur.
Ooh.
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty annoying. So
Hope I forget you said that.
it's no Hurt Copain, but
That's a good one.
Hurt Copain.
We got to have him
Copain.
on the podcast.
Nah,
No, he died in like 94.
Oh shit, really?
Hurt Copain.
Yes.
Kurt Cobain killed himself.
I see a lot of people
I don't know who
complain
the
about-
person you're talking about.
He's the yes you do, or you have him muted or blocked. Because everybody who says that, when they're like, I don't know who that guy is, his name's Saeed DiCaprio. He's like an engagement farmer.
Yeah, he has like 100K followers. He's always on the For You tab with some bullshit.
Yeah. And Alex and I just love that his name is Hurt Copain. The other day, Alex replied to me when I just tweeted Hurt Copain with no context. And Alex said, Payne Staley. And then I said, Payne Stewart, just spelled pain. Payne Stewart felt pain when he was on the plane. But it's so stupid. That's such a stupid pun. Kurt Cobain killed himself. Of course he's in pain.
Yeah, like what does it add to it?
Hurt Copain.
He wasn't happy.
It pisses my ass off, man.
It's so dumb.
Oh, I hate memers.
I've never seen this account in my life, but yeah, like there's the Trump talking about
How many
Travis
mutuals with
Kelce
him?
and
500.
4.
Not bad.
That's good.
But yeah, he's talking about there's the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing, and Trump saying wish the best to both of them. Hope they enjoy their life, maybe together, maybe not, most likely not. And he quotes me and said, "Who the hell is asking him about this?" Crying emoji. He got 92,000 faves.
I know. Look at the
Damn.
engagements total. Like, look at the number.
You don't need to add anything to that to make it funny. It's
Yeah.
already funny because Trump said it.
5.7 million engagements. He's cooking.
Mm-hmm. He's a Twitter blue check. Well, you know he is because he's in the For You tab.
I managed to get a bunch of engagement with that post about Nazi Germany.
Nice.
Where it
You
was
get
like,
Twitter Blue now.
oh yeah, I should get the money from it, the $6. It was that post where someone posted the map of the Roman Empire at its peak and then said, what would you do? And I posted Nazi Germany in 1943. And I got so many people earnestly arguing about like the supply lines and what Hitler should have done. And like, then people saying like, how could you make them communist if you took over in the middle of the war and then all that shit? Like, it's so easy. You just throw it out there and like,
or just the people
thread.
being like, this is real nice. I inherited Nazi Germany and what do I do with it now? Nice post. Getting all fucking mad at Alex.
But you could say that about the Roman Empire too. Like, how
World-
many Jews did they kill and enslave
Yeah,
around that
Fun
time? A
with
lot.
world maps or whatever.
Fun
Yeah.
history maps.
Fun history maps. Yeah, I post like the Death March of Bataan and all that stuff.
I'm gonna start being like a globe emoji using Neolib and post map shit like here's the peak of the US empire compared to the Roman. Not so bad now that you think about it. Like,
God damn it. Don Hughes' reply to your fucking Nazi Germany thing is so good.
I know.
Yeah.
Just peace treaty with the Allies. Free most prisoners and apologize for the concentration camps. De-Hitlerization campaign to be less authoritarian. Prioritize trains over automobiles to prepare for climate change. Reform zoning laws to allow more multi-family dwellings.
You, sir, have won the internet today.
Just take over in the middle of the war and completely do a 180.
So good. Fucking moron.
Fuck.
What a legend.
So good.
Ledge.
They would have to do it though if you said you had to do it.
Yeah. That's how you fix it. Well, thanks for
I would
thanks for
kill
listening.
Hitler if that was me.
Check out
I would have a talk with him about what his bullshit is.
Check out World War II. Check out Don Hughes. Check out Clay Fighter 3D2 Judgment Clay. And
Check it out.
Check out
Check
Nintendo.
out Hurt Copain.
And Hurt Copain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.